So today's just going to be a boating adventure. Here comes a bald eagle. I saw them splashing around on the water up there. It must have been after a fish. Anyway, today's going to be a different kind of adventure. We got a lot of rain last night. Everything's kind of flooded. In fact, the river here is muddy, and it's normally pretty clear this time of year. It's up about 1.5 feet. I have on my life preserver because we've had a lot of people drowned in this area this year when the river's been high, and they didn't have one of these on. So I'm just being safe today. Anyway, we're going to go upriver. We're going to check out a dam that was built in the 1850s, so it's really old. It was actually built before the Civil War, and it feeds the C&O Canal. And there's a couple islands we'll explore, and if there's anything else up there to see, well, we'll explore it. And if not, we'll head downriver, and there's a cave that I'm interested in, and seeing if I can find it again. There goes the bald eagle. You probably just see his tail. There's another one upriver from it, though. I saw it a few minutes ago. You see little birds chasing it. So we'll stop and we're going to look for this cave that's actually back behind us, and maybe we'll come back to that another day. I'm not going to do it today. Today's just a quick run on the river, testing out a couple modifications that I did to the boat, and so far so good. It's moving pretty quick today. Alright, let's go up to the dam and check it out. I just met a family back there at the boat ramp I was putting in that's not from this area. And they didn't realize that the river was actually high today, and it's a little bit dangerous. They were tubing. But I'm going to show you one way to tell anytime you're on a river to see if it's actually higher than it should be. And that is by looking at the vegetation. You can see this vegetation here is almost submerged, and normally it should just have its feet wet. You can see some right here. So the river's up a good 1.5 feet. Ooh, there's one of those little birds there. Look at him, sneaky little devil. We have a little side branch here, and you can see it's really muddy. That's how you know there was a fresh rain. And you can tell that the river's not quite as muddy, although it's going to come up more before it goes down. What do you say we explore that little tunnel over there? Goes under the canal. Let's do it. Let's see if we can get around this way a little bit easier. I think we can get up there. Let's try to get up here first. One rock. Ooh, another rock. What do you think? I don't think we're going to make it very far. Yeah, that's about it. I'm trying to keep the nose from getting underwater there. We don't want to be swimming. Now, if I were Schmeagle, this is where I would be hanging out, huh? Isn't that cool? This tunnel here was built in the 1840s. It's a part of the C&O Canal, and it allows this little stream to flow underneath the canal. So there's actually water and stuff above us where there would have been back in the day. Absolutely gorgeous stonework, though. If you look right there, that's called a keystone. That's what holds the arch together. The Keystone State, the state that holds the Union together. Pennsylvania. Oh, we're not in Pennsylvania. All right, enough of this. Let's go on up to the dam and check it out. One-handed. Still haven't made it to the dam yet, but I wanted to show you something interesting here as I look for stuff on the bank. It was actually a Civil War engagement here, a little small battle, and there's a big Civil War camp up there in the hills that I've hunted for like the past 20 years, and people have hunted it 20 years before that, and we found a lot of stuff. But anyway, back to this topic here. This is an island ford here. This is a good example about what I tell you guys about how, you know, people would lose stuff in ford and why I find so much stuff in the river. As I told you earlier, you know, it rained last night, so the river is up, but you still have to cross if you wanted to cross the river. There were no bridges back in the old days, and you would have to take your horse or your horse and wagon or just wade on across. Now, how deep do you think that is? When the river's low, it's only a couple feet, so it's not too bad. And the ford actually goes right between those two islands right there. Well, it could be 4, could be 5 feet right now. So if you wanted to go to the other side to buy groceries or to visit Uncle Festus, you would have to go across the river the way it is right now and hope you didn't get swept downstream, or wait 3 or 4 days for it to go down. And if it was really high, you might have to wait 3 or 4 weeks, or maybe even a couple months. So in my videos, when I show you a ford and it's nice and shallow and rocky and I'm all happy, keep in mind, after a rain, they become a very dangerous place for man and beast. Hello, Clarice. It's actually an electric plant over there. You can see the river is pretty roaring today. Normally, you can kind of wade out there fishing and whatnot, but I certainly would not try that today. There's a boat ramp on the other side over there. That's West Virginia. This is why I wore a life vest. It's just a little too hairy for me today to not have one on. I'm not a good swimmer anyway. Some dude fishing over there, so I probably won't get any closer, but pretty neat, huh? Built before the Civil War, 160 years ago or so, maybe a little more. A couple years ago, a guy went flying over that in a jet ski. I guess he didn't know it was there. Didn't get hurt though, he was fine. Had a story to tell, that's for sure. A couple white things over here. I'm not sure what they are. Look pretty heavy though. Little tiles or something. That's kind of weird. Strange to be on the river, huh? I don't know what their story is. Whenever you see bare dirt like this, pay attention, because there could be neat stuff. Coins and bullets and all kinds of cool stuff in it. Arrowheads. I have a little place just downstream where a friend of mine said he used to find a lot of Civil War bullets when he was a kid, just walking the bank. Let's go down there and look at it. There's something else. I don't know what that is. I don't know. We'll go down there and see if we can find any bullets just walking the bank. Might be too high today, but we'll give it a try. As I was going down the river, I saw a bottle. I see a bottle embedded in the bank. I think we should go check it out. What do you think? Yeah. Doesn't look very old from here, but you never know. Ooh, what's that? It's not very old. In fact, probably not as old as me. Unfortunately, I have myself wedged in here. Come on now. Can't reach it. Well, like an old crow, I can use tools. And by crow, I meant the bird. Nah, see, it's a cork. It's not a cork top. We're just gonna leave it. There's something else there. I don't know what that is. Nah, we'll leave that for the river janitor. Probably see that tonight when he comes through. Crash into a tree. No. Oy. Okay. I wanted to show you guys something that I found, and I think it's pretty neat. This is a bird nest. It was actually floating on the water. And you can see it's made just like a bird nest out of all kinds of stuff. But looky here. Look at all this fishing line. This is monofilament fishing line. Just normal stuff that, every fisherman uses. Let me tell you a little story. This is one of my earliest childhood memories. I was 7. And I was walking in the woods with my mother. She was a farm girl. And, she used to try to teach me about the outdoors. And that's probably where I got the love for the outdoors, was there, with her. And there was a little skeleton of a bird hanging from a tree at about my eye level. And it had wrapped around its neck fishing line. And it has since dawned on me what happened is that bird found that fishing line just like this bird found fishing line. It was carrying it back to make a nest, and it got wrapped around its neck and snagged on a branch, and it hung. So here I am, 7 years old, and find this very interesting skeleton of a bird hanging by the neck in the woods. But it really got me to thinking about nature and how we interact and how we affect nature. And it was just a shame that that poor little bird, just trying to build a nest, died because some fishermen pitched some monofilament line along the bank. And if it had just been using grasses and twigs like it normally would have, it wouldn't have done that. So it was a good lesson for me. And that memory and that image is burned into the front of my brain. And it's one of my earliest, and certainly one of the images that I think has helped me in my life and encouraged me to learn more about what's going on around me and how I can help other things not have the fate of being strung up by the neck by wayward monofilament. Alright, end of the cool story, bro. Let's go look for some Indian stuff and those mini balls and bullets that my friend used to find along the river. I'm talking about you, Steve. Not Dig or Gig Master Steve, but one of my friends from when I was a little kid. This is where the forge used to cross the island, right in here. I found bullets, just eyeballed them in the banks along here. Fired ones. You know, I was looking on Google Maps. Oh, there's something there. So I just passed a boat trailer. That might be another. Yeah, it's a little boat trailer probably. I just passed one back here with tires. Let's go up here on the bank and see if we can find any Indian artifacts. I was looking on Google Earth, and it clearly shows a fish weir right down here, which is a big V of rocks in the river where the Indians used to catch fish. I've told you about it before in other videos. Let's go over here and see if we can find anything. Looks like it's washed out a little bit. That might be good. Let's check it out. I have a friend that lives up by the dam, which is still just above us, and he's found grooved axes and stuff along the river here. I don't know exactly where he found them, but somewhere along here. What we'll do is we're just going to look along here and see if we can find anything of interest. This could have been deposited, all this dirt here could have been deposited within the last 100 years, and it's just being eaten away now, so we might not find much, but we'll look. I'll turn the camera on if we do find something, or back on. A couple little doodads in the frame, can you see them? I don't think any of them is of particular interest, but there's a something right here. That's aluminum. It's a little piece of brass. That's an old piece of iron here. That's a spike of some sort. That's an old one right there. I'm not going to keep these. I'll leave them for the island janitor. There's a piece of iron right there too. But yeah, there could be something in here. That iron was definitely old. Of course, it could have washed down, you know, in a piece of an old bridge or something, and the wood would have rotted and left a spike up here on the island. Fossils, like fossils? You see there's little fossils in this rock right here. If I brought my rock hammer, we could break some of these things open. And it's actually some pretty cool shells. I mean, they're not like spectacular fossils that you're going to find out in Wyoming. But, you know, shell fossils, if you like fossils. Yeah, we'll do that someday if you want to do that. It's in sandstone, by the way. There's no campfire here. Campfire ring, of course, full of trash, naturally. People camp down here in the summertime. It's a really neat place because you can put in at the dam right up there and just kind of float down and spend your weekend here on the island, goofing off and swimming and fishing or doing whatever you want to do. I'm not finding much. Let's go ahead and move on. What do you say? But before I go, I have to tell you one more quick story. When I was putting in at the boat ramp just down from me, there was a family there, like 4 or 5 little girls and their father and mother, and they were tubing. And the river's high and kind of gross right now, so I was talking to them a little bit about, you know, the being safe and whatnot. And they're not from around here, naturally. They're from Jersey, and they thought this was the Antietam Creek. Like, you've seen the Antietam Creek in my videos. It's tiny, and they're waving at me. I told them to go in above the dam and float back down. That's what they're doing. So it's really pretty safe out here today. It's not many rapids or anything like that, and they're all wearing preservers. Yeah, they are having fun. But anyway, they were on the The wrong river. People. Now that's creepy right there. I just told the story about how I found a bird hung by its neck in the woods. It's a skeleton. Look back there. I don't know how I missed that on the way through, or the way up rather. It's a sign, a warning. I think someone did that on purpose. Where is the river janitor when you need him? River janitor. That's just the way it is, my friends. Just the way it is. Boy, that's a mess. Let's look at that. I guess it all collected on the inside of the bend. Shall we explore? Yeah, let's look around. Let's see what's here. Now you can tell this is kind of an older area where it's collected because there's a lot of the steel drums. You don't see them anymore. You notice aluminum cans too. When I was a kid, they always told me that it takes like 5,000 years for one of these cans to decompose in the wild. And that's not true. They actually do fall apart over time. You can see how soft those have gotten. Kinds of treasures. There's some underwear. Woohoo! Ah, fishing reel. I found a fishing reel. That doesn't look too old. I think that is. You never know what you find. That's a good old, big old clam, isn't it? Look at that thing. Look at all the trash. This collects on the inside bends of rivers. And this could be 10 feet deep. 10 feet of trash here. That's coal. That's a little bit older. Most of the stuff I'm seeing looks like it's probably only a few decades old at the most. That's an old refrigerator, I guess. Or freezer, one of the two. Lots of cans and clamshells. Bunch of rocks. See any grooved axes? Some farmer picked those out of the field and pitched them down over the bank back in the day. They could have been there for 200 years. Yep. It's a shame, but that's the, oh, that's kind of cool looking. Look at that. Isn't that neat? I'm going to take a picture of that, actually. Bizarre, huh? I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Kind of reminds me of Cousin It, doesn't it? It's a beautiful day to be out here. I'm sorry we're just doing this today, but this is what I do on my days off from digging. I can't really dig because I don't like to get my head wet or get in the water when I have any cuts when it's on the rise, and this is definitely on the rise today. Supposed to get 3 more inches of rain tonight. Got 3 last night, got 4 a couple of days ago. So I'm gonna have to get in the truck and go on a road trip. You wanna go on a road trip with me? Probably will here in a few days. Someplace where the rivers aren't muddy. Let's mosey on down. We'll look at the, I saw some bare dirt down here on the side, and we're going to look at that real quick. See if we can find any Indian artifacts. Because white man artifacts here aren't very interesting, are they? Are they? I don't know what that is. That's just a rock. Oh, that's coal. How about the feel of it? Weirdly worn. Hey, is that a human bone? Look, it's human. I think it is. We'll just put that right back. Okay, let's move on. Let's go over here and look against this bank. For some reason, this has great appeal to me. As you can see, it's been washed out. So many of the stones or heavier stuff should be laying in there still. And we might find something of interest that's actually a little older than me, although I'm not seeing much. This is all silt and loam in this area, so If there was never anything buried there, of course we won't be seeing it now. And I don't really see anything. I don't see any flakes either. No chips of chert chips or flint or anything like that. Alright, I'll turn it back on if I see anything of interest. I'm going to walk along down here a little bit since my boat is securely tied. Still looking for stuff along the bank here, but I'm not really seeing a whole lot yet. Whew, a few rocks though. Seems like we should find a few things, because right above us is a flat, and that's a good bottomland, good farmland up there. You would think that the Indians would have camped up there a good bit, and maybe grown a few pumpkins. That's a neat old house right there. It's a stone house built in the 1700s. There's supposed to have been a sword found in the river here years ago by a fisherman. I've never found anything here though. That's going to have to end the journey for today. We did not make it down to the cave or the place where my friend said he used to find bullets on the shore. Yeah, I don't want to be too late getting home, because I didn't really tell my wife I was going to be out here this evening. And with the river being high, of course I have no cell service right now. With the river being high, I don't want her to worry about me. So we'll come back, we'll hit the cave, we'll come up from the down below next time. It'll be fun. I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me. I really do appreciate that.